Stop scrolling. This is Carmen Dell'Orefice. She's 94 years old. Look at her skin. Not just smooth, luminous, like it's being lit from within. Most women her age are in assisted living. Carmen? She just walked a runway in Paris last month. The fashion industry is brutal. They discard models at 25. Yet Carmen has been working continuously for 79 years. This isn't about good genes. Her mother lived a hard life and looked it. This isn't about expensive treatments. Carmen lost everything, twice, in bad investments. What you're about to discover is a biological process happening inside her cells right now, and the 5 specific foods that trigger it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to activate this in your own body. But before we dive in, where are you watching from? Drop your country or city in the comments. Let's see how far this video goes. And if you want to age backwards like Carmen, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you'll want to save this information. Now, I need to warn you. What the beauty industry has been selling you is a complete lie.
I always date. I'm not married.
Here's what nobody tells you about aging. You've been told it's about collagen loss, sun damage, gravity pulling your skin down. Wrong. Aging is actually congestion. Let me explain with a simple metaphor. Imagine your body is New York City. When you're young, say 20 years old, the sanitation department is flawless. Every night, trucks come through, collect the trash, and by morning, the streets are pristine. This is why children's skin glows. It's not about products, it's about cellular cleanliness. But around age 30, something changes. The sanitation workers start calling in sick. By 40, they're working half shifts. By 60, they've essentially gone on strike. The trash starts piling up, on street corners, in alleyways. Eventually, the entire city becomes unlivable. This trash has a scientific name: cellular senescence. These are zombie cells. They refuse to die, but they're no longer doing their jobs. They just sit there, taking up space, leaking toxic inflammation into the healthy cells around them. And here's the terrifying part. They're contagious. One zombie cell turns its neighbors into zombies. It's a chain reaction of decay. Think about what happens when you cut an apple and leave it on the counter. Within minutes, it starts turning brown. That's oxidation. The same process happening inside your cells right now. But here's what's fascinating. If you squeeze lemon juice on that apple, it stays fresh for hours. Why? Because the antioxidants in the lemon neutralize the oxidation. Your body works the same way. The question is, are you giving it the lemon juice, or are you just letting it rust from the inside out? You can see this process on Carmen's contemporaries. Look at photos of other women born in 1931. Most look fragile, worn. That's what 94 is supposed to look like. But Carmen? She defies this entirely. The difference isn't what she puts on her skin. It's what her cells do with their own waste. And it all starts with what she puts in her mouth every single morning. And that brings us to the most important discovery in aging research in the last 50 years. In 2016, everything changed. A Japanese cell biologist named Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology. Not for inventing a drug, not for a surgical technique. He won it for discovering your body's self-destruct button for aging. The process is called autophagy. In Greek, it literally means self-eating. Here's how it works. Inside every cell in your body, there's a microscopic organelle called a lysosome. Think of it as a mobile recycling plant. When your cell is under the right kind of stress, specifically nutrient deprivation, or specific molecular triggers from certain foods, this lysosome wakes up and goes hunting. It searches for damaged mitochondria, your cellular power plants that have burned out, misfolded proteins, the junk that clogs your system, oxidized lipids, the rust inside your cells, viral particles, bacterial fragments, damaged DNA fragments, toxic waste products from normal metabolism. The lysosome wraps around this garbage like Pac-Man and dissolves it. But here's the genius part. It doesn't just destroy the waste, it recycles it. The trash gets broken down into fresh amino acids, glucose, and fatty acids, the raw building blocks your body needs to build new skin, new neurons, new muscle. It's like taking a demolished building and using the bricks, wood, and metal to construct a brand new skyscraper. Carmen Dell'Orefice looks decades younger at 94 because she is literally rebuilding her face every day using the recycled debris of her past. She's not fighting aging, she's consuming it. Now, you might be thinking, if this process is so important, why haven't I heard about it? Because there's no money in it. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent autophagy. The beauty industry can't bottle it and sell it to you for $500 an ounce. It's a process your body already knows how to do. It just needs the right signals to activate it, and that's exactly what Carmen figured out. Not through science, but through instinct and necessity. When she lost all her money twice in her life, she couldn't afford expensive treatments or fancy creams. She had to rely on simple, whole foods and smart eating patterns. And accidentally, she stumbled upon the exact protocol that longevity researchers are now recommending to billionaires who want to live to 120. But here's the problem. Most people have accidentally shut this system down completely. There's a master switch inside your cells called mTOR. Think of mTOR as a construction foreman. When you eat, especially protein and sugar, mTOR screams, "Build, grow, expand." This sounds good, right? Growth is good. But here's the catch. When mTOR is on, autophagy is off. Your body cannot build and clean at the same time. It's biologically impossible. It's like trying to renovate a house while people are still living in it. You can't tear down walls and rebuild the foundation while someone's cooking dinner in the kitchen. You need to clear the house first. Then you can do the deep renovation work. In modern life, we eat constantly. Breakfast at 7 a.m. coffee with cream, at 9 a.m. snack at 10:30 a.m., lunch at noon afternoon, latte at 3 p.m., protein shake at 5 p.m., dinner at 7 p.m., dessert at 9 p.m. Your mTOR is screaming build for 14+ hours a day. The cleaning crew never gets to work. The trash piles up year after year, decade after decade. By 50, your cells are drowning in their own waste. This is why your skin loses its glow, why your energy crashes at 2 p.m., why brain fog sets in, why you can't remember where you put your keys. Your cells are suffocating under the weight of their own garbage. And here's what makes it worse. The standard American diet is specifically designed to keep mTOR activated 24/7. High sugar, high refined carbs, constant snacking. Food companies have figured out that if they can keep you eating every 2 to 3 hours, you'll buy more food. It's not a conspiracy, it's just capitalism. But your biology doesn't care about their profit margins. Your cells are begging for a break. They're begging for time to clean up. Carmen doesn't live like this. She follows what researchers call a time-restricted eating pattern, a fancy term for giving her body long periods where mTOR is quiet and autophagy can work. But here's what's even more fascinating. Carmen also eats 5 specific foods that actually trick the mTOR switch into allowing autophagy to happen even while she's eating. These aren't superfoods. They're not exotic ingredients shipped from the Himalayas. You can buy them at any grocery store. But the way she combines them creates a cellular environment that most 30-year-olds don't have. Let me show you exactly what she eats, and more importantly, why it works at the molecular level. Food number 1. Lemon water, the morning activator. Every single morning, before anything else touches her lips, Carmen drinks water with fresh lemon juice. Most people think this is about vitamin C or detoxing. It's not. This is about acidity and polyphenols. Lemon water on an empty stomach creates a mild acidic stress that signals your cells to begin autophagy. It's like a gentle alarm clock for your cellular cleaning crew. But there's more happening here. Lemons contain a flavonoid called hesperidin. Research from the University of California shows that hesperidin activates AMPK, an enzyme that inhibits mTOR. In plain English, lemon water tells your body to stop building and start cleaning. It also kickstarts your digestive enzymes and flushes your liver, the organ responsible for filtering all the cellular waste your autophagy process breaks down. Your liver processes over 500 functions daily, but its primary job is to filter toxins. If your liver is clogged, your autophagy waste has nowhere to go. It's like having a recycling plant that works perfectly, but the garbage trucks can't leave because the roads are blocked. Lemon water clears the roads. But here's the critical part. It must be first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, with fresh lemon, not bottled lemon juice. Why? Because the enzymes in fresh lemon juice are alive. Bottled lemon juice is pasteurized, which kills the enzymes. The action: juice half a fresh lemon into 16 ounces of room temperature water. Drink it within 10 minutes of waking up. Wait 30 minutes before consuming anything else. Food number 2. Probiotic yogurt, the gut-brain-skin axis. Carmen eats yogurt almost every day, but not the sugary kind packed with artificial flavors. She eats plain, full-fat, probiotic-rich yogurt, the kind with live cultures that makes your tongue tingle slightly. Why does this matter for autophagy? Because 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. When your gut microbiome is healthy, it sends chemical signals, called postbiotics, to every cell in your body telling them to clean house. A diverse microbiome literally commands your cells to recycle waste. Research from Stanford shows that people with high microbial diversity have 40% lower levels of inflammatory markers, higher autophagy activity in skin cells, better mitochondrial function, slower biological aging. But here's what most people don't know. Your gut bacteria actually produce autophagy-triggering molecules. Certain strains of bacteria produce something called butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that directly activates autophagy pathways in your intestinal cells, your brain cells, and yes, your skin cells. This is why Carmen's skin glows from the inside out. Her gut is feeding her skin the exact molecules it needs to clean itself. But here's the catch. You need the right strains of bacteria. Most commercial yogurts have 1 or 2 probiotic strains. You need at least 5 to 10 different strains to get the full autophagy benefit. The action: 1 cup of plain Greek or Icelandic yogurt daily. Look for live and active cultures on the label. The best brands will list the specific strains: Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium lactis, Lactobacillus casei. Add a drizzle of raw honey if you need sweetness. Raw honey contains prebiotics that feed your good bacteria, but absolutely no sugar. Food number 3. Leafy greens, the cellular detox engine. Carmen loves her greens, but she doesn't eat them the way most people do. Soggy, overcooked, flavorless. She either braises them herself with olive oil and garlic or eats them raw in big, colorful salads. Spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, collard greens, dandelion greens. These aren't just healthy vegetables. They're autophagy activators. Here's why. Leafy greens contain something called sulforaphane, especially in cruciferous greens like kale and arugula, and massive amounts of chlorophyll. Sulforaphane activates a cellular pathway called NRF2. When NRF2 is activated, your cells immediately begin producing more antioxidant enzymes and trigger autophagy to clean up oxidative damage. Think of it as flipping a switch that tells your cells, "Red alert, we're under attack. Clean everything now." But chlorophyll does something even more remarkable. Chlorophyll has a molecular structure almost identical to hemoglobin, the protein in your blood that carries oxygen. The only difference? Hemoglobin has an iron atom at its center. Chlorophyll has a magnesium atom. When you consume chlorophyll, it binds to toxins in your bloodstream, heavy metals, pesticides, environmental pollutants, and helps your body eliminate them before they damage your DNA. This is critical because DNA damage is one of the primary drivers of cellular senescence, those zombie cells we talked about earlier. By protecting your DNA, chlorophyll prevents new zombie cells from forming in the first place. Carmen's body isn't just cleaning up old damage, it's preventing new damage from accumulating. But here's the secret to getting the most out of your greens. You need to eat them with fat. The autophagy-triggering compounds in leafy greens are fat-soluble. Without fat, they pass right through your digestive system without being absorbed. This is why Carmen always dresses her salads with olive oil and lemon. The fat from the olive oil carries the nutrients into her cells. The acid from the lemon increases absorption even more. The action: 2 to 3 cups of raw or lightly cooked leafy greens daily. Always dress them with extra virgin olive oil and fresh lemon juice. If you cook them, use low heat and add the oil after cooking to preserve the nutrients. Food number 4. High-quality protein, the muscle protector. Here's where Carmen breaks all the conventional anti-aging advice. She doesn't avoid protein. She doesn't go vegan. She doesn't do juice cleanses. She eats real, high-quality animal protein almost every day. Wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs, occasionally grass-fed beef or lamb. And this is absolutely critical. Because here's what happens when you don't eat enough protein as you age. Your body starts breaking down your own muscle tissue to get the amino acids it needs. This is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. By age 80, the average person has lost 30 to 40% of their muscle mass. Less muscle means slower metabolism. You gain weight easier. Weaker bones, you become fragile. Poor balance, you fall more easily. Less autophagy. Muscle tissue is actually a major site of autophagy activity. Carmen is 94, and she still has the muscle tone of a woman in her 50s. How? She eats enough protein to maintain her muscle, but she times it strategically. She doesn't eat protein at breakfast. She saves it for lunch and dinner. Why? Because when you eat protein first thing in the morning, you spike mTOR immediately and shut down the autophagy process that's been working all night. By waiting until later in the day, Carmen gives her body 16 to 18 hours of autophagy time. Then, when she does eat protein, her body uses it efficiently to rebuild and repair, not just to build more. But here's the other key. Quality matters more than quantity. Wild-caught fish contains omega-3 fatty acids that actually enhance autophagy. Pasture-raised eggs contain choline, a nutrient that supports the lysosome function we talked about earlier. Factory-farmed meat? It's full of antibiotics, hormones, and inflammatory omega-6 fats that block autophagy. Carmen's rule: if she can't afford high-quality protein, she eats less of it and gets more calories from plants. Quality over quantity. Always. The action: 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal, consumed later in the day, after 11 a.m. Prioritize wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs, and grass-fed meat. Avoid processed meats entirely. Food number 5. Ice cream. Yes, really, the psychological override. Now we get to the most controversial food on Carmen's list. Ice cream. Carmen has openly said in interviews, "I always keep ice cream in my freezer. It gives me a feeling of security. One would think clothes would do it for me, but no, it's ice cream." Before you think this is just a guilty pleasure, let me explain the science behind why this actually supports her longevity. Restriction creates stress. Stress spikes cortisol. Cortisol blocks autophagy. When you tell yourself, "I can never eat ice cream again," your brain interprets that as a threat. You're in a state of constant deprivation. Every time you see ice cream, smell it, or think about it, your cortisol levels spike. This chronic stress is far more damaging to your cells than occasionally eating a small bowl of ice cream. Carmen understands something most dieters don't. Psychology drives biology. By allowing herself the option of ice cream, by keeping it in her freezer, she removes the psychological burden of deprivation. And here's what's fascinating. Most of the time, she doesn't even eat it. Just knowing it's there is enough. But when she does eat it, she enjoys it fully, without guilt. And because there's no guilt, there's no cortisol spike. Her body processes it, moves on, and goes right back into autophagy mode the next day. Compare that to someone who cheats on their diet, feels terrible about it, spirals into guilt and shame, stress eats for 3 days, and completely derails their progress. The lesson here isn't eat ice cream to look young. The lesson is rigid restriction is a form of stress that accelerates aging. Carmen's approach is flexible, sustainable, and psychologically healthy. And that's why she's been able to maintain it for 79 years. The action. Don't demonize foods. Allow yourself planned indulgences without guilt. One small serving of something you love, once or twice a week, won't destroy your autophagy, but chronic stress and restriction will. Now let's put this all together into a complete 24-hour protocol that you can follow starting tomorrow. Morning routine. 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. The autophagy window. Carmen wakes up naturally around 6 a.m., no alarm clock. The first thing she does? She doesn't jump out of bed. She lies there for 5 to 10 minutes and does gentle stretching, rolling her hips, bending her knees, doing a few leg lifts. She's not exercising. She's checking in with her body. She stretches and listens. How do her hips feel? Are her knees stiff? Is her lower back tight? This body awareness prevents injury and keeps her connected to her physical self. Then she gets up, goes to the kitchen, and drinks 16 ounces of room-temperature water with fresh lemon juice. She puts the tea kettle on. While the water boils, she gets on her indoor bicycle and pedals gently for 10 to 15 minutes. Not intense cycling. Not a workout. Just gentle movement to get her blood flowing and her lymphatic system moving. The lymphatic system is your body's drainage system. It's what removes the cellular waste that autophagy breaks down. Unlike your blood, which is pumped by your heart, your lymph only moves when you move. No movement equals clogged lymph equals trash backs up in your cells. When the kettle boils, she makes black coffee or herbal tea. No cream, no sugar. She sits, drinks her coffee, listens to jazz on her vintage radio, and reads or looks out the window. She does not eat breakfast. During these 5 hours, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., her body is in peak autophagy mode. Her cells are cleaning, recycling, rebuilding. This is where the magic happens. If she ate breakfast at 7 a.m., like most people, she would shut down this entire process. First meal, 11 a.m. Breaking the fast. At 11 a.m., Carmen eats her first meal. A bowl of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of fresh berries, blueberries, raspberries, or strawberries, a drizzle of raw honey, sometimes a sprinkle of chopped walnuts or almonds. Why berries? They're packed with autophagy-triggering polyphenols and have a low glycemic impact, so they won't spike her insulin too hard. Why nuts? Healthy fats keep her satisfied and provide more autophagy activators. This meal is intentionally light. It gently transitions her body out of fasting mode without overwhelming her system. Afternoon, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. The nutrition window. Between noon and 6 p.m., Carmen eats 1 or 2 more meals depending on her hunger. A typical lunch or dinner looks like this. A large salad with mixed leafy greens, spinach, arugula, romaine, dressed with extra virgin olive oil and fresh lemon juice, topped with wild-caught salmon or sardines, omega-3s and autophagy support, or pasture-raised eggs, protein and choline, a handful of raw vegetables, cucumbers, tomatoes, bell peppers, sometimes avocado, healthy fats, occasionally aged cheddar cheese, high in spermidine, another autophagy trigger. On the side, steamed or braised vegetables, broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, always cooked with olive oil or grass-fed butter. She does not eat bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, processed foods, sugary desserts, except her occasional ice cream. Why? Because these foods spike insulin, activate mTOR, and shut down autophagy for hours. Carmen keeps her meals simple, whole, and nutrient-dense. She's not counting calories. She's not weighing her food. She eats until she's satisfied. Not stuffed. Evening, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The preparation phase. Carmen stops eating by 7 p.m. No late-night snacks. No dessert, usually. No just one bite. After 7 p.m., her kitchen is closed. She might have herbal tea, chamomile, peppermint, or rooibos, but nothing with calories. This is when her body begins shifting back into autophagy mode. Her insulin drops. Her growth hormone starts rising. Her cells prepare for overnight repair. She spends her evening reading, sewing, she's an accomplished seamstress, or doing photography, hobbies that bring her joy and keep her mind sharp. She doesn't watch TV. She doesn't scroll on her phone. She engages in creative activities that reduce stress and support cognitive health. Around 10 p.m., she goes to bed. Overnight, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The deep repair phase. While Carmen sleeps, her body is working harder than ever. During deep sleep, growth hormone surges, repairing muscle and skin. Autophagy ramps up to maximum levels. The brain's glymphatic system activates, cleaning out toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's. Damaged DNA gets repaired, immune cells patrol for cancer cells and destroy them. This is why sleep is non-negotiable for longevity. You can eat perfectly and exercise daily, but if you're only sleeping 5 to 6 hours, your autophagy will never reach the levels needed for true cellular renewal. Carmen gets 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. She wakes up refreshed, with clear eyes and glowing skin, because her cells spent the night rebuilding her from the inside out. The cold exposure protocol. At some point in her morning routine, Carmen does something most people would consider crazy. She splashes ice-cold water on her face. Sometimes she ends her shower with 30 to 60 seconds of pure cold water. This isn't about willpower or toughness. It's about hormesis, the principle that small amounts of stress make you stronger. Cold exposure triggers norepinephrine surge. This activates brown adipose tissue, fat that burns calories, and directly triggers autophagy in multiple cell types. Heat shock proteins. These molecular chaperones grab misfolded proteins, the kind that cause Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and either refold them correctly or mark them for autophagy destruction. Mitochondrial biogenesis. Your cells literally build new mitochondria, cellular power plants, in response to cold stress. Improved insulin sensitivity. Cold exposure makes your cells more responsive to insulin, which helps keep mTOR in check. The result? Faster autophagy, more energy, better mental clarity, and yes, tighter, more youthful skin. The action. Start with just 10 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower. Focus it on your face, neck, and chest. Gradually work up to 30 to 60 seconds over a few weeks. The walking habit. Carmen doesn't go to the gym. She doesn't do CrossFit or spin classes. She walks. 30 minutes a day, every day, usually with friends. Low impact, conversational pace, consistent. This does several things. Activates lymphatic drainage. Remember, your lymph system needs movement to clear cellular waste. Maintains muscle mass. Walking is weight-bearing exercise that preserves leg and core strength, reduces stress. Walking outdoors, especially in nature or with friends, lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity. Regular movement keeps your cells responsive to insulin, maintaining the autophagy balance. Supports cardiovascular health. Heart disease is still the #1 killer. Walking prevents it. Carmen doesn't overthink exercise. She just moves her body gently, consistently, every single day. Now let's talk about what Carmen does not do. She doesn't spend $500 on face creams. She doesn't get monthly facials. She doesn't have a 12-step skincare routine. Her approach is radically simple. Moisturize. That's it. She uses whatever moisturizer is available, sometimes just pure coconut oil or shea butter. She applies it to damp skin, which helps lock in hydration, and that's the end of her routine. But wait, didn't she get cosmetic procedures? Yes. Carmen is honest about this. Decades ago, she had regular silicone injections to enhance her bone structure. This was common in the 1960s to 70s. Medical dermabrasion almost 50 years ago to remove sun damage and wrinkles. But here's the critical point. She did those procedures once, decades ago. She hasn't had a facelift. She hasn't had Botox recently. She hasn't had threads or fillers in the last 20-plus years. Her current appearance, at 94, is maintained by her cellular health, not by cosmetic interventions. Compare her to other celebrities who get procedures every few months and still look tight and artificial. Carmen looks alive. Her face moves. She has expression lines. But her skin has a quality that procedures can't create, that inner luminosity. That glow comes from one thing: healthy cells. The sunscreen, non-negotiable. The one thing Carmen is religious about, sunscreen. She wears it every single day, even when she's not going outside. Why? Because UV damage is the #1 external cause of skin aging. It creates free radicals that damage DNA and create those zombie cells we talked about. All the autophagy in the world can't compensate for daily UV assault. Carmen learned this the hard way. She had sun damage in her younger years, which is why she got dermabrasion. Now she prevents the damage from happening in the first place. The action. Wear broad-spectrum SPF 30+ every single day. Reapply every 2 hours if you're outside. This is non-negotiable. The makeup philosophy. Carmen only wears makeup for professional photo shoots and events. In her daily life, her face is completely bare. Why? Because makeup clogs pores. It traps oil and sweat beneath it. It prevents your skin from breathing. When your pores are clogged, the cellular waste that autophagy breaks down has nowhere to go. It backs up in your skin, causing inflammation, breakouts, and accelerated aging. By keeping her face clean and makeup-free most of the time, Carmen allows her skin to function as it's meant to, as an organ of elimination. Your skin is constantly pushing out toxins through your pores. When you cover it with makeup 12 hours a day, every day, you're suffocating it. The action. Give your skin makeup-free days as often as possible. When you do wear makeup, remove it completely before bed and let your skin breathe overnight. Here's something most people miss when they look at Carmen. Her youthfulness isn't just physical, it's mental. She's curious, she's engaged, she's still learning, still creating, still passionate about life. She doesn't talk like a 94-year-old. She doesn't think like one either. This matters more than you might think. Research shows that people who maintain a sense of purpose and engagement live significantly longer and healthier lives than those who retire and disengage. Carmen has never retired. She has no intention of retiring. When asked about it, she simply says, no. She wants to work. She wants to create. She wants to be useful. This mindset keeps her brain sharp and her stress levels low. The stress management secret. Carmen has mastered something that eludes most people, the ability to stay calm under pressure. With 79 years in the fashion industry, she's dealt with impossible deadlines, demanding photographers, constant scrutiny of her appearance, financial devastation, twice, 3 marriages and divorces, the death of loved ones. Yet she doesn't carry visible stress. How? She's developed a deep connection with her body and uses breathwork to override anxiety. When she feels stress rising, she doesn't panic. She doesn't spiral. She takes deep breaths. She relaxes. She focuses on what she needs to do. This isn't just psychological. This is biochemical. Deep, slow breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest mode, lowers cortisol, improves oxygen delivery to cells, enhances autophagy. Chronic stress is one of the fastest ways to age. Cortisol literally damages your DNA and creates more zombie cells. Carmen's ability to stay calm isn't just a personality trait, it's a longevity strategy. The creative outlet. Carmen sews. She does photography. She cooks creatively. These aren't just hobbies, they're brain exercise. Learning new skills and engaging in creative activities builds new neural pathways, triggers neuroplasticity, supports autophagy in brain cells. Yes, brain cells do autophagy too. Reduces risk of dementia and cognitive decline. Carmen's brain at 94 is still forming new connections, still growing, still adapting. Most people's brains start shrinking in their 60s because they stop learning and challenging themselves. Carmen proves that mental aging is optional. So let's bring this all together. Carmen Dell'Orefice isn't a genetic freak. She's not a billionaire with access to experimental treatments. She's a woman who figured out, through necessity, instinct, and wisdom, how to work with her biology instead of against it. Here's your 30-day challenge. Morning. Drink lemon water first thing, 16 ounces with half a fresh lemon. Wait until 11 a.m. for your first meal. Move gently. Walk, stretch, or cycle for 10 to 15 minutes. End your shower with 30 seconds of cold water. First meal, 11 a.m. Plain, full-fat probiotic yogurt, handful of berries, drizzle of raw honey. Afternoon meals, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Large salad with leafy greens, olive oil, lemon high-quality protein, wild fish, pasture-raised eggs, cooked vegetables with healthy fats. Evening. Stop eating by 7 p.m. Herbal tea only. Creative or relaxing activities. In bed by 10 p.m. daily. Non-negotiables, 30-minute walk. Sunscreen 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Breathwork when stressed. That's it. No pills, no procedures, no expensive creams. Just give your cells the time, tools, and nutrients they need to clean themselves. Take a photo of your face today, right now, then commit to this protocol for 30 days. Take another photo on day 30. You'll see the difference, not just in your skin, in your energy, your mental clarity, your entire sense of vitality. Because here's the truth. Carmen proves every time she steps in front of a camera at 94 years old. You are not a victim of time. You are not doomed to decay. Your body is a self-healing masterpiece, but only if you stop suffocating it with constant food, chronic stress, and toxic products. Take out the trash. Recycle your energy. Become the architect of your own cells. Now, where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments below. Let's see how far this message spreads. And if this video changed how you think about aging, smash that subscribe button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Are you ready to activate your autophagy? I'll see you in the next one.